Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Maki's Closet. On today's class we'll be making a baby's gathers dress. So I'll be making use of this Ankara fabric to make the dress. So to fold the dress, we are going to make use of the largest body measurement of the baby. Usually in babies you use the navel because the navel is usually bigger and the lower part of the dress is gathered, so you don't need the hip measurement. So I'll be folding with the navel divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. After doing that, I'm going to go down and mark the vertical measurement. The vertical measurement I'm working with is shoulder to bust, shoulder to navel. There's no under bust for babies. The shoulder to bust is 4.5, while the shoulder to navel is 10.5. So I'm just going to mark out that. So after doing that, the next step is to mark out the shoulder measurement, which is the shoulder divided by 2, and I'm going to mark. You can add half because if you want to join the sleeve directly, but I'm going to do a turn up at the sleeve side and then add an Ankara on top to give it a neater finishing. After that, I'm just going to extend it down to my chest line, to the baby's chest line, and then mark out the armhole circumference. Then I'll go ahead and mark the neckline. So I'm using 2 inches by 2.5. I'm just going to use it to create the neckline and mark. So I'm just going to cut what I have marked out. So for the front pieces, I'm just going to place it on the lining and also cut out the lining for the front piece. After cutting the lining for my front piece, I'm just going to keep the lining aside and place whatever I have for my front piece, and then add 1 inch zipper allowance in front. I'm just going to make use of 1 inch zipper allowance. And note, we are not going to make use of a dart for this dress. You can insert a dart if you want to, but for this tutorial we are not going to be making use of a dart. Then I'm just going to pin and then trace out what I have. So while cutting the back piece at the neck side, I also went up by 1 inch to extend the neckline at the back, not to be too low. Then after doing that, I cut out the excess at the neckline. So with this, we are done cutting the upper part of the dress. Then I'm going to place my back pattern on the lining and cut out the lining for the back piece. So going down to the lower part of the dress, like I said earlier, we minus the upper part of the dress from the lower dress. So the total length of the dress is 32. So 32 inches minus 10.5, which is the shoulder to navel. So I'm going to add about 1 or 2 inches for folding allowance or hemming allowance at the mouth or the down part of the gown. So this is the down part of the material. Like I explained earlier, the length of the gown is 32 and I minus the half length, which is shoulder to navel, so I'm left with this. And I also attach 1 inch down for folding allowance, so I'm working with 60 inches length. I measured 60 inches. In total I have 60 inches by 22.5 because I added 1 inch for folding. So I'm just going to fold it at the down part with half and half. Then I'm going to go ahead and do my turn up for the front.
I sewed here, here and here to this part. So I'm just going to notch it through. So also for the back, I sewed here. Sewed the neckline, and I left the armhole open. I sewed the back, so I also notched it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to flip it open. Then I'm going to give it the press. Then turn this. So this is what I have. Then I'll give it a good press to relax. But before that, I'm just going to flip this to show you how to join the shoulder. This armhole area is open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on this part of the material, front side facing. Then I'm going to take this. Like this, place it this way, and then take one of these and wrap it round. So let me repeat again. I'm going to place front facing front, the front part facing the front part. I'm going to place it together. After placing, I'm going to take the lining and wrap it round on this. After wrapping it, I'm just going to secure it with a pin. Just going to secure it with a pin. Then I'll place my tape and mark half.
So I'm going to mark half on the closed part of the shoulder and one on the open part of the shoulder. The reason why we are marking this is that we did not create a shoulder slant while we were drafting. This is another method of joining the shoulder together. So if we had marked the shoulder slant, we are going to just use half and attach the shoulder.
Then I'm going to connect this line to this. Go over to the sewing machine and sew on it and bring it and show you. So after sewing it, you're just going to notch it with your scissors. You're going to notch it with your scissors. After notching, you flip it. So you're going to be having this, and you're going to be having a very neat finishing. After doing that, you still go back, turn this, and sew with half. Where that's not, sew with half. So you go ahead and sew that piece. After sewing it, you're just going to notch. And then bring it out. Then for this part, I'm also just going to do it this way and then attach the hand and bring it back.
And don't join in the shoulder. So this is what I have in neat finishing. So the next step I'm going to take is to join the sides. Since there's no zip at the center, we are not going to attach zip for now. I'm just going to pin out the zipper allowance at the back. So at first we marked 1 inch for zipper allowance. So by the time I'm done with the turn up, I'm left with half. So I'm just going to mark that 1/2 inch zipper allowance and pin it all through. After pinning it, I'm just going to shape the upper part of the baby's dress. Next, I will mark the baby's vertical measurement, which is the shoulder to bust and shoulder to navel or waist. Note, babies don't have under bust. Then after marking that, I'm going to place the horizontal measurements and mark, and then go over to the machine and stitch. So for the sleeve, I cut out 14 by 8 inches. Then I use half to hem the mouth, so I'm left with about 6 inches. Then I'm going to join it at the other end. So I'll also do so for the other sleeve, and then also go to the machine and join it with half.
So I've gone ahead to join it. So after shaping, I'm just going to find the middle and then place it and fold it around the arm. And then this is the down part, which I've already cut out and folded. I'm just going to run a gather stitch here, and then after running a gather stitch, I will now join it to this part. So let's go ahead and sew on.
So I've stitched it. I'm going to unpin it and then flip it open. So I'll bring the down part of the dress. I'm going to run a gather stitch like I said earlier, but before I run a gather stitches, I'm going to get the middle of the upper part of the dress and then the middle of the down part of the dress. I'm going to notch it and then place it together and join it. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Marcus Closet. Please, if you find this video interesting, please support me by hitting on the subscribe button and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching my video. So this is what I have after I've joined the upper part to the lower part of the dress. So the next step I'm going to do is to place the back together. Make sure the half length area meets. So from there I'm just going to measure 6 inches down and then pin it. So from that 6 inches I marked down, I'm going to sew with ½ inch to the down part to close up the down part of the gown. So I have gone ahead to the machine and I have stitched it. Then I'm going to flip it open. This is what I have. So don't forget to iron while sewing. So we are almost getting to the end of the video. So I'm just going to attach sleeve and then insert zipper to the dress. So is to attach the sleeve. I've already sewed this down earlier and this is how the other one looks. So I'm just going to take this and pleat it right round the armhole. I'm just going to use a pin and secure it round the armhole, creating a pleat or a ruffle round the armhole. After pinning it, I'm just going to take it down to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew with ½ inch round. Please, while pleating it, make sure the front sides of the sleeve faces the front side of the material, and also the joining at the sleeve to end at the joining at the dress armhole to give it a uniform look. So I'm done pinning it round. I'm going to do the other hand, and then the next step I'll take is to sew round it and then bring it out and show you. So I have gone ahead and I attached this, and I did this off the camera. I've attached both the hands. So this is the final look of the dress. So this is what we have. The next step I'm going to do is just to use the ½ inch allowance and attach zip at the end. So this is the final look of the dress. So with this we have come to the end of the video. If you find this video interesting, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn up the notification buttons to get new updates from my channel, and drop your comment at the comment section.